never give it up.
You're right. You're right, goddammit. I'll never be as good as James Cameron. How did you do that water? How in the hell, man? Yo, welcome back to another episode of Q Reviews 2.0, where we'll be going over The Way of the Water, probably the biggest blockbuster movie to come out at the end of the year, written and directed by James Cameron. Now, our story begins as about 14 years later after the original Avatar. Jake Sully has a family now, you know what I'm saying? He's been rubbing the Neytiri very well. I mean, they've been bumping them, grinding them tails because he got about 5 children now. He's been really getting in. He's the father figure. And then the people from the sky, just exactly what they say in the movie, come. And then they have to switch locations from the forest to the ocean to save his family. And I'm just gonna keep it there. But first off, let's get this out of the way. James Cameron, I don't understand how you did the water in this movie. Coming from a CG artist for around 12 years, I don't understand this. Okay, they're in mocap suits, you know, the whole mocap suits, and then they transfer the data to the computer or whatever, and they can do whatever. I think James Cameron was one of the first people to put this type of technology on the screen. And as far as that goes, James Cameron was the first person to ever put CG in a film with The Abyss. So, like, when he gonna set the bar, he gonna set the bar. You gotta tell me, how does this water work with animated characters? Because it's real water. If this is not real water, the physics are just, it's blowing my mind. So I was perplexed by that by watching this movie. But then I'm just blown away by the spectacular beauty, which is Avatar 2: Way of Water. I have never seen some shit like that. I watched it in 48 frames per second in 3D, and the shit was so real. Like when it was raining or sprinkling or was particles in the water, I was swatting my face because it was that immersive, you know? As far as the movie goes, is it a perfect movie? I don't think so. Is it a very entertaining movie? Should you take to see your family? I think so. So let's get into my positives. Of course, this movie is an epic fucking masterpiece of visual spectacle. I've never seen no shit like that. It reminds me when I seen T-Rex for the first time, T-1000, and those are both James Cameron's movie. Even the Alien Queen, he just knows how to bring a spectacle on screen, what you go to the movies for, what a real filmmaker does, you know what I'm saying? On that aspect is great. Now, as the characters goes here, I think Jake Sully takes even a back seat. His wife takes a back seat. I think the main movie here is about the middle child here. On another positive note, I think this is a great movie to take your family to. I took my family to it on Saturday, so I was late seeing it. And then we all enjoy watching this spectacle, just being in this world. It's some movies like Interstellar, like you go to space. I seen it on 70mm. It felt like I went to space. That was cool. But when you buy a ticket to this with the 3D and the whole 9, it literally seems like you step into another planet, onto another planet, and you're living with these Navis underwater, you know what I'm saying, on surface water. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful to look at. It is truly a movie experience that, like, if you even are slightly interested, I suggest you just take that ride. Like you said, people say it's like a Universal Studio ride. I can see that, but let's imagine a Universal Studio ride with the upper echelons of technology you have ever seen in your life. You know what I'm saying? And people wonder, would this work? You know what I'm saying? Well, people go back to the Na'vi and visit the Avatar world. Right now, it's making a pretty good killing right now. It's making, I think it's what, like 148 or 149 million domestic, and I think globally, I think it's like 400 and something million dollars. So it looks like it's trending very well. And into this holiday season, I think it'll do even better because I don't think people have seen it yet. And then they're going to probably take their families to go see it this weekend. You know, and I say it's worth the price of admission. Now, is this my favorite movie of the year? I don't think so. I don't think so because I have some gripes about the film. First off, the story is very basic. It's a very, very basic stories with bullies, the whole nine. You've seen this thing, these tropes a million times. But are they done well by James Cameron? I think they're done sufficiently. They're not bad, but it's certain characters that take me out of the movie. Like the antagonist of the film, I'm not going to spoil it here for people who haven't seen it, but it's a very familiar character. And I couldn't really get behind his motivations because I didn't quite understand exactly why this was going on and like who paid for this, basically. Second act, it's a whole stretch of the film that has to do with this middle kid. And I like the kid too. I really like the kid too. I like this kid, but he has an older brother. And then he has a couple young sisters like that. I think it's 5 kids altogether. I didn't think they gave enough character development to the older brother. Like, I wish he would have had one of those fine sea girls, you know what I'm saying, formed a relationship so we'd be more attached to him. He just showed up at the opportune time when it was convenient. Like, oh yeah, he's here. But I wish they would have dived more into his character. There's another character here, if you haven't seen the movie, it has to do something with Sigourney Weaver. Basically, she's an Avatar reborn. I'm just gonna, small spoiler. I mean, it's in the trailer, you see it. But her voice sounds like Dana Barrett from Ghostbusters. I'm sorry, it sounds like Dana Barrett, you know what I'm saying? They tried to do it. Her character didn't completely work for me because she was real spacey all the time. But you know what I'm saying? It has to do with the story. But I couldn't find myself really being emotionally invested with her character. Now, if I'm watching this movie, I'm watching its beauty, I'm watching all, but like, am I really liking this movie? I'm in the first act. If I'm really attaching myself to these characters, I couldn't really figure that out. But then in the second act, it picks up a little bit and it gets going. But then it comes to kind of a snail of a halt. And I'm gonna say this, love James Cameron, you know what I'm saying? A hell of a filmmaker. But when James Cameron get in his bag, homie get in his bag, son. So he really got in his bag. He's like, I'm going to show you everything in Pandora, and you're going to love it. You don't wish you could live here. And it's just drawn out scenes where I started to feel this runtime, like just long sequences with whales, with beautiful imagery. But like, I think this is taxing on just a little bit too long. You know what I'm saying, to get back to the pacing of the movie. So sometimes I think when James Cameron's in his bag, it's almost like a musical act. You know, if you ever watch a musical, like, I have no strings to hold me down, but except for the music, James Cameron's gonna give you this score with these just epic, awesome, amazingly beautiful shots from in CG. I mean, it looks fucking, like I said, I never seen nothing like that, but it goes on too long. It feels like a Discovery documentary. Then we forget about the movie. Then we have to get back to the movie. So James Cameron just almost seems a little pretentious with this. I love the film. I love this craft maker, but it slows down the film to me a little bit. Now, with all that said, I really enjoy watching this film with my family. I think, you know what I'm saying, my little one's going to remember it, you know what I'm saying, for a long time, because it was just a straight family structured Disney movie, you know, really. And I seen it in 48 frames per second. And I think it works fine for this movie. Whatever, it didn't work for The Hobbit, but for this movie, for the visual clarity that I think it needs to be with 3D, I think that 48 frames per second in the theater is a nice touch to me. I'm like, I didn't find it jarring. Only issues that I have with this film is like just some of the very, very basic story arcs that are not executed well. I mean, they're sufficient, but they're not executed well. Now, I know another movie that came out this same year that has sort of same cliche plots, you know what I'm saying, almost a predictable plot, but it flows better. You know, I'm going to explain that movie later, but if I had to give Avatar The Way of Water a score, right now I'm landing at about a 3.75 out of 5. It could be a strong 4, but like just some of that stuff in the film as a critic threw me off. But like I will say, like, y'all don't need to miss this movie in the theater. It's an experience. It's a technological masterpiece, really. It's a technological masterpiece. I thought that monkey in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, that orangutan, was the best I ever seen in CG. But when I see this shit, I'm just like, I quit, bro. I quit. You're never going to get to that level, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's exciting to see what technology can bring and what filmmakers can do, of course, with the right type of money and the right type of mindset. James Cameron's like, yeah, I'm going to do a whole movie sequel 3 hours long with CG characters in water. CG artists are, you know, like, yeah, right. No one could do this. Like, James Cameron's like, hold my beer. You know what I'm saying? James Cameron, like, hold my beer. And he did that shit. So I got to give him props for that. You know, the 3.75, I'm going to take it a couple scores away for, you know what I'm saying, things that didn't work for me. But how did y'all like Avatar? Let's get down in the comments and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all looking forward to the sequels? Or are you just done with Avatar after the first one, after they make $1 billion because it's like the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? People get mad when you like Tom Brady and shit. You're the GOAT. They're going to hate you coming out the gate. But he did do some wonderful things with this film. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. I can go on and on and on. Once again, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, go ahead, hit that thumbs up. And of course, if you really like this content, consider subscribing to the Q Review family. And don't just stare at it. Eat it. Peace.
I'm out cold, you hoes been exposed. Walk up on you slow with the foe and unload. You got more left for dead on the road. I strode when your car got towed.